All right. So today, Tuesday morning, I'm rocking a slightly cleaner look. Props to the wife. She assisted with the eyebrows and the back part, but I was looking a little grisly even for my taste. So today, I am rocking. Oh, get this bad boy in focus. Opus X, Forbidden X, Taurus the Bull. So, uh, these ones are a little more difficult to come by. Apparently, it's quite the amazing smoke. We'll find out. So, uh, I'm actually kind of excited to have. This is another one of those ones I've never had, and this will effectively be my last, I guess, cigar post this week. So I gave one of these to my brother. He smoked it yesterday. Said it was amazing. Again, it's got that sort of red and black theme that I'm a fan of. I looked online, and of course, I couldn't really find any effective, information about, what makes the blend so special. It does look remarkably like a regular Opus. Still a little too early to get that sort of idea what the flavor looks like. Need about another 5 minutes, but basically, they released this collector's editions. That was the only thing I could find online. Every year, less than 1,000 boxes are made. So I got my hands on a bunch from 2015, which is this one. I have a bunch from 2016. I'm starting to get the. Oh, I forgot to finish my coffee. I'll also show you where my head's at. One moment. I knew something was missing. Now the question is, do I get this in the basket? Nothing but net every time. So. This tastes very different. So I had this theory a little while back. I kind of joked about it with my father-in-law that every Opus is the same, that it's just different wrapping and a lot more expensive. Now, I don't actually believe that. It was just a joke, But I will say, one, if I had a very in-demand product and I had an opportunity to take a product and simultaneously do two things: turn a bigger profit off of it, and at the same time, so if I release 10 special editions, right? So I didn't make 1,000 boxes. Let's say I made 10,000 boxes of the one that everybody likes, but I want to keep it as a rare, hard to get item. So I make 10 special editions, right? So I made that joke. The fact that you can't find a lot of information on the blends, if you're trying to be a conspiracy theory kind of guy, it just goes, it's part and parcel of that deal, right? As if you like conspiracy theories. I'm really not one for it. But again, the fact that there's very little information definitely lends to that, feeling. So, now I have hot coffee. We can really begin. But I will say that now that I'm really getting into smoking these sort of special editions, because I have my humidor and I'm just, I'm trying to enjoy all of them, and now I'm really getting away from the traditional Opus, right? I mean, all these other things have basically been sitting in my humidor for a million years, and as I've been growing the collection and everything, and now I said to myself, I'm gonna start knocking these down. Otherwise, I mean, what's to keep them for, right? I mean, the point of buying a cigar is to smoke it, right? Just like I never understood people that bought, if you buy a classic car, okay, fine, but you don't drive that, so you don't buy that car to drive. I never understood people that bought Ferraris and then don't drive it. You buy a car to drive, you buy a cigar to smoke, right? But the moral of that little story is, as I'm now getting through all these different special editions, I have noticed very distinct flavor profiles. And it was also one of the reasons why I waited so long. I waited until I had a very sophisticated palate. People don't understand that if you are a very casual cigar smoker, or you're not a cigar smoker, and you pick up one of these things, first off, you're probably going to get sick, because, I mean, I'm years and tens of thousands of cigars in. And to be honest with you, I still get sick sometimes. If I don't eat in proximity, if I don't have, something to drink, if I try to smoke later in the day, I get nicotine sickness immediately. So that's the first thing. All right, I'm past that point, because, like I said before, the very premium cigars typically live in that sort of full body range, right? And what should we call it? The other thing that is important to think about is, this is smoke. If you smoke a cigar and you don't have a sophisticated palate, it tastes like smoke. Just like if you drink really expensive whiskey or really cheap whiskey, but you don't drink whiskey, or you never drank in your life, it just tastes like fire, right? You don't know what the hell you don't know what the hell you're drinking, right? But if you get to somebody that's been an avid drinker their whole life, you get this, someone understands the flavor, right? So I waited until I had smoked enough cigars that I can really say, I'm smoking one thing, it tastes like this, this, and this, versus, now I can't always explain it as well as I would like to, but I can taste it, you see. So, anyways, so this is a hugely different flavor. Again, this is another one of those ones where we've stepped completely away from what would otherwise be a regular Opus. I have to say that there has to be some Habano in here, because I taste that Habano flavor. I don't know if the wrapper is Habano, I don't know. But there's definitely some Habano leaf in here, because it has that very distinct flavor profile from a Habano leaf. It does have that woodiness. There's some sort of woodiness, kind of dry grass in it. It almost tastes a little bit like a Cuban cigar. It tastes like, it looks like somebody, it tastes like somebody took a Cuban cigar and wrapped it in a Habano wrapper. It's got that hay, grass, kind of, woodiness to it. You know, the woodiness is from the Opus. The hay, the grass is kind of Cuban, and I feel like the whole thing's folded up in a Habano. Yeah. I'll pick up a little bit of creaminess on the retrohale. Doesn't have a very strong finish. Doesn't have that really peppery afterbite. There is some pepper to it. I do taste it, but it's more on the tip of my tongue, not so much in the back, which means to me that it's a spice. So this is the way that I distinguish for myself. If that peppery taste is in the back of the mouth, right? And I feel like that typically is indicative of just a very full-bodied cigar. It's more the strength of the cigar you feel in the back of your throat, as opposed to when you get the pepper on the tip to the mid part of your tongue. That's when I believe it's more of like a flavor folded into the leaves. So I'm gonna say this is a great cigar. It's very, very smooth, even for such a strong cigar. It's very smooth. There are a lot of flavors in it. I think that if you are like myself and you find some peace in that sort of like, smell of a fireplace, if you like that kind of, that sort of like dry grass and hay sort of aroma, and if you like that kind of earthy taste, this is your cigar. If you can get this, you need to get this. This thing's producing a lot of smoke. It's smoking great. The ash is just white. Burns razor sharp, so construction's amazing. I already took one of the bands off. Like I said, I can never understand what the hell happened with those angel shares, that there was so much damn pectin that it ripped the damn cigar apart. Because with this things, you saw the band just goes, right? That's the way it should be. I mean, these are fucking expensive. You can get these things for $8. So, all right, kids, I'm going to enjoy the rest of this cigar, and I'm going to settle into my work. I'll see you guys sometime next week. Today and tomorrow and the next couple of days, I might put in some of my old videos, Cigars for Fitness videos up as a playlist. It's not the same channel, but we'll go from there. All right, stay safe.